born an adult. But for some of us, childhood was just a costume we wore for a little while. It starts quietly. A subtle shift no one else sees. You're 8 years old, but you're not thinking about cartoons. You're thinking about your mom's mood, your dad's silence, the tension in the house that feels like a physical weight. And in that silence, a deal is made. A silent, brutal negotiation between a child and the world. If I don't hold this together, everything will fall apart. This is how a child disappears. Not from the playground, but from themselves. They become a miniature adult, a therapist, a peacekeeper, an emotional thermostat for everyone else, and the world praises them for it. You're so mature for your age, you're so responsible, but no one ever asks the real question. What did that responsibility cost you? This is the psychology of the child who grew up too fast, and the adult they become is still paying the price. Part 1, the silent bargain. Psychologists call it parentification. It sounds clinical, but it feels like survival. The adults in your life can't adult. A child's brain does something incredible and tragic. It rewires itself to fill the void. You learn to read a room before you can read a chapter book. You learn to manage emotions before you can manage long division. Your playground becomes a minefield, and your only job is to not let anything explode. Think of it like this. A child's brain is supposed to be building the foundation for a house. Social skills, self-worth, how to play. But you were forced to build the roof first. You learned to shelter everyone else from the storm, while your own foundation was left exposed to the rain. You mastered a performance so convincing, you even forgot you were acting. You became the good child, the quiet one, the one who never asked for anything. But that child you buried, they didn't die. They're still in there, and they're about to send the adult you've become a bill for all the crave-free moments they never got to have. Part 2, the adult bill comes due. So what happens when that hyper-responsible child grows up? The survival skills that saved you then begin to sabotage you now. You might become hyper-independent. You refuse help, you push people away because relying on someone feels like a high-risk gamble. You heard promises break as a kid. Why would you trust them as an adult? You might feel like an imposter in calm rooms. The nervous system, trained on chaos, mistakes peace for boredom, or worse, for danger. So you might create drama unconsciously because stillness feels wrong. And relationships, they become a confusing puzzle. You're the therapist friend, the emotional caretaker, but let someone try to care for you, and you freeze. You don't know how to receive. Love feels less like a gift and more like a debt you'll have to repay. The cruelest joke, you're often praised for these very traits. You're so strong. You have it all together. But inside, you feel like the opposite. You feel like you're faking it because you're never taught how to be, only how to manage. And that performance is exhausting. But what's the alternative? What happens if you finally stop? Part 3, reparenting the child you were. The healing doesn't start with fixing. It starts with witnessing. It begins when you stop gaslighting yourself with thoughts like, it wasn't that bad, or other people had it worse. Your pain is valid. Your lost childhood is worth grieving. The goal isn't to blame your parents. It's to reclaim yourself. This is shadow work. It's turning towards that 8-year-old inside of you and finally saying the words they needed to hear. I see you. I hear you. It wasn't your job to hold the world together. You can rest now. Ask that inner child, what did you need back then that you never got? You might hear, I needed to play. I needed someone to ask if I was okay. I needed to make a mess without fear. And now, as an adult, you have the power to give them those things, not to erase the past, but to stop reliving it. Let yourself be silly. Watch the cartoons you missed. Say no without guilt. Rest without earning it. This isn't childish. It's how you become whole. You learn to separate responsibility from worth. You are worthy of love and care, not because of what you do for others, but simply because you exist. A child who grew up too fast inherited a heavy burden, but they also inherited a profound strength. You are resilient. You are perceptive. You are a survivor, but your greatest act of strength won't be carrying the weight. It will be learning, finally, how to gently and compassionately set it down. You never got a childhood. But you still get a future, and this time you get to write it from a place of choice. The world told you to be strong, but now you have permission to be soft, to be seen, to finally come home to yourself. What is one small thing you can do this week to honor the child you were? The answer to that question isn't just a task, it's the first page of a new story.